Years went by as the Iso-Didact led the fight against the Flood, with Installation 07 being under the control of a rampant mendicant bias. The Iso-Didact finally located it and set out to recover the rogue ring before any more damage could be done. The Iso-Didact quickly traveled to the installation's cartographer, where he recognized two humans had been connected to the array's control interface by mendicant bias in a last-ditch effort to prevent the collision. Among these humans was Chakas, one of his old friends and companions from Erde Tyrene. In order to save the installation, the Iso-Didact linked up with Chakas and steered the array safely away from the planet. He then put Installation 07 on a course to the Greater Arc. During the events on Installation 07, his ancient human friend Chakas had been mortally wounded, yet his conscience was still capable of being saved. So the Iso-Didact had Chakas' conscience transferred into the form of a monitor and would be tasked with watching over the humans on the Greater Arc. This monitor was then given the name of none other than 343 Guilty Spark. During this mission, the Iso-Didact had managed to place Mendicant Bias in captivity as well, but had one more dark objective to complete. 10,000 years had passed since the Year Didact had spoken with the Timeless One. Now, the Iso-Didact and Chakas were about to confront the Primordial, who was on Installation 07 in search of answers. The Primordial sat in a time capsule at the center of a large room when the Iso-Didact proceeded to ask it questions in reference to the Flood. The Primordial told him that Forerunners were never meant to inherit the mantle, and that humanity would be tested next, only to rise up in over 100,000 years in arrogance and defiance, and be united with the Flood once again. He spoke of misery being what the Precursors wanted, and the Flood as their answer. During this questioning, the Iso-Didact never received a clear answer, and out of a fit of pure rage placed a reverse time lock on the Primordial, which forced it to live through billions of years in a matter of seconds right before their eyes. Its body, unable to withstand the test of time, began to break down and disintegrated before finally leaving only a pile of dust. The Iso-Didact then traveled back to the Greater Arc with the installation. After the recovery of Installation 07, the Iso-Didact and Librarian both grew more influential in the Ecumene during the last years of the Forerunner civilization. The strategy of using shield worlds became popular again until the Flood began ravaging throughout the Ecumene, leading to the idea of using the Halo Array once more, and was even considered by the Iso-Didact himself. Time went on in these last years as the Iso-Didact would escort the Librarian and her lifeworkers throughout the galaxy as they frantically collected species for indexing. Eventually, in the last years of the war, a catalog was dispatched to collect testimony from the Iso-Didact, at which time he was called to return to the center of the Ecumene, where he would take command of the Orion Complex defense operations and deliver his knowledge.